Hey, you can't sell your way to the top of your comp plan, and you can't sponsor your way there either. Let me explain what I mean. I spent more than 5 years losing money in network marketing and went on to become one of the highest income earners in the world, producing more than 22 billion with a B, $22 billion worth of revenue for myself, team, my clients, and proteges. My name is Randy Gage, and this is the Duplication Nation MLM Pod. And it's dedicated to sharing with you the lessons that I learned that can help you grow your business successfully. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. And here's what I know to be true with every fiber of my being. You cannot sell your way to the top of your compensation plan and stay there. Even if you're a power influencer on TikTok with 50 million followers, you can sell, sell, sell. You will not make it to the top of the comp plan and stay there. And you cannot sponsor your way to the top of the compensation plan again and stay there. Either case, you can get there for 10 minutes, but I'm saying to stay there, you can't sell your way there. You can't sponsor your way there. You have to duplicate your way there. And that's what we're going to talk about this episode. I'm going to give you 7 hacks to have stronger duplication. And just know I use the term hack, I don't know, for lack of a better term. You think as a writer, I'd have a better word to use at the moment, but I don't. Because I just think sometimes there's ways we can do things smarter to produce superior results. And that's what I'm talking about. Whereas sometimes when people hear hacks, they think it's a way to get lazy and not do something. And that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about how to do it the right way. All right, so let's talk about and some of these are going to be a little counterintuitive, maybe shocking, but let's see. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, perfect. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is lead with the business, not the products. Please understand this. No matter how passionate you are about your product or service line, no matter how evangelical you are about it, no matter how much you are convinced that every person in the world needs to use your product or service, and you are here on a mission from God to sell the product or service to every person on earth, the way to accomplish that most effectively is to lead with the business, not the products. There are, we joke a lot in the business and we'll say, our network marketing is perfect for everyone, but everyone's not perfect for network marketing, unfortunately, right? Not everyone's willing to put down the remote control, to get up off their butt, to spend 10 or 12 hours a week doing the business, right? We get that. So same thing, whatever your product is, if you got an amazing health product, right? There's going to be a lot of people, they don't care about that. They want 10, 12 diet sodas every day and drive-through meals 3 times a day, right? Whatever it is. But if you lead with the business, you're going to have a bigger net out there catching butterflies. You're going to get more butterflies, and then they will duplicate more, and you will actually end up with more customers and more distributors, which will create the flywheel effect of bringing in more customers and more distributors, which again, flywheel self-replication, and it'll ultimately help you get to more customers. But you got to lead with the business, not the product. Number two, stop being a problem-solving superhero. Never, this is the old biblical lesson of teaching someone to fish versus giving them a fish, right? Well, in our business, this plays out in big, big ways with a lot of ripple effects as you go down in depth in the organization. So my mantra for maybe 20 years now has been never do anything for a distributor they're capable of doing themselves. So when you get that SMS or that DM and they say, hey, I just got my order and I ordered 3 boxes of protein bars and I only got 2, you got to, force yourself to not solve the problem for them, but to teach them how to solve their own problem. Because the ripple effect, again, as this goes down many levels, will save you thousands of hours of meaningless, repetitive, stupid stuff in your business that you can redirect toward rainmaker activities that grow the business, or redirect to more quality time, taking another 3 weeks vacation a year with your spouse, spending more time with your kids and attending more of their activities, right? The having a better lifestyle, but it starts with duplication. Number 3 is going to surprise some of you. Stop selling on social media. Pitching your products every 3 hours with another post. It's just irritating, and people tune you out. And then they don't want to do that, so they don't join and they don't duplicate. I'm not saying get off social. I'm saying be on social. You need to be there. You need to be findable in today's world. But use the relationships that happen online. Follow the same process you would offline, which is we meet people, we migrate them to the candidate list, we develop the relationship, and when the time is right for the candidate, we invite them to take a look at the business. Number 4, stop chasing MLM zombies. It's such a chronic epidemic in our business right now, in Australia, other parts of Asia. Now it's totally infected Latin America. Started here in the US, went to Europe, now it's everywhere. People looking for deals. They're brain dead zombies. They haven't laid down to die. They just keep ambling along looking for people they can eat their brains, suck the energy out of their body. And they were in this group and they had thousands of people. They didn't like this, so they went to this company and they brought in thousands of people, but then they got bored, so they went to this, and now they just so happens they don't have any company and they don't have any people, but it's nothing to do with them or their fault. And if you give them special deals and consideration and put them in a certain spot and guarantee them income or pay their expenses, they're just zombies, and they're just flitting around from deal to deal to deal, and they are a cancer in our profession, and it's an epidemic right now. Now, this is not to say there are not situations that arise. Some really good rock star distributor with a company, and the company goes out of business, or their sponsor line does something that leaves them no choice but to leave. There are sometimes situations that it would make sense to offer consideration, but not for the zombies. If you haven't read my book, DEFCON 1, Direct Selling, read that book and you will know the difference of the zombies, the parasites, and the terrorists, and then the legitimate people. All right, next one is switch from materialism to social entrepreneurship. That's a very diplomatic way to say, stop with the rah-rah and the hype and the over-indexing on materialism. You're not reading the room right? You're not reading the room. I know there are people who still love the rah-rah and they're impressed with the Lambos and the watches and the babes in bikinis on beaches, photos, but that's not really the future of our profession. The future of our profession is the millennial generations, X, Y, and Z people, and they're just not lit up by that. Your vibe attracts your tribe, the tribe that's going to lead your business forward, your company forward, our profession forward, the world forward is the XYZ generations. And they operate on a different wavelength. And if you will switch your conversations to getting out of debt, becoming a social entrepreneur, building wealth by doing good, doing the right thing, empowering others, you'll be amazed at how much stronger your duplication is. And finally, number 7, my book, Direct Selling Success. What can I tell you? That is my step-by-step system for how to do the business from A to Z, from Amway to zombies. And it's generic, but it's the whole system. How do we do home meetings? How do we do hotel meetings? How do we do online meetings? What's the difference? What are the key things that need to be in a presentation? What is a candidate pathway? How do you build out a candidate pathway? What kind of tools should go with what kind of action steps to produce that results? How do we identify leaders? How do we put leaders in a leadership track, which will take them up through the progression in the team? It's soup to nuts, A to Z. It's my complete system. And it's the result of 40 some years in the profession. It's not a quick little 10-minute read. It's definitely a 3 to 4 hour concentrated thing and kind of a workbook that you'd go back on and reference again and again. I have other simpler books, right? If you just want to really be excited about the profession and the mindset, then my book, The ABCs of MLM, is perfect for that. In fact, I recommend you put one in the distributor kit for every new distributor who joins your team. And we have some really smart, savvy companies that do that, buying 5,000 at a time and getting their people fired up and over the line from hope to believe. But in terms of duplication, it's always going to come down to how do I automate? How do I systematize? How do I scale? And that's what I wrote that book for. So make sure that's in your library, you have read it, and you reference it on a regular basis. All right, so those are my best hacks for how you create strong duplication. And just know we're going to explore this subject. Might even be a new book for me soon, but if not, at least an episode of the podcast where I want to talk about how you create a self-managing business, because I believe that's the ultimate goal that we all should be striving for, and that's the ultimate duplication. All right, love you guys. Go out and have an amazing week. Peace. Hey, do me a favor before you go. Please rate this podcast and then share it with people you know who could benefit from the business building advice here. And then if you're watching on YouTube or if you're on one of the other platforms that allow comments, please get down below, give us a shout out to the community in the comments section. Thanks.